One of Disney's most forgotten hotels is also one of their most popular, but there are a lot of reasons why you might hate it. Our team is here to debate Old Key West Resort, and you just might be surprised by the results. Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars TV and AllEars.net. We're working our way through Disney World's hotels to decide which hotels are the best and the worst, and which ones are perfect for you. Today we're talking about Disney's Old Key West Resort, and we got this info straight from you. Plus, our cast has lots of opinions over one of Disney World's original hotels.
This resort might not have beautiful hotel rooms, and I know what you're thinking. This is a hotel, shouldn't it have beautiful hotel rooms? Well, it doesn't. But it does have large hotel rooms, and it's got beautiful grounds to explore, a golf course, a great restaurant called Olivia's that I take friends to all the time, an outdoor walk-up, outdoor-indoor bar called the Gurgling Suitcase, hammocks. What more could you ask for? This resort has, maybe not it all, but this resort has a lot.
Formerly known as Disney's Vacation Club Resort, Old Key West was actually the first DVC hotel. It was renamed Old Key West in 1996. Obviously, it has a Florida Key West theme featuring an island hamlet, waterways, and golf course fairways. One of the things Key West is known for is spacious villa suites with a kitchen, washer, dryer, and even separate bedrooms.
So though Old Key West is nowhere near like my top resorts in Disney World, it is actually my favorite place to stay with my family. My family unit is 2 adults and then 2 adult kids, usually with like accompanying significant others. So it's important for us to have a lot of space, and the Disney Vacation Club suites at Old Key West are a ton of space. You get a full kitchen, you get a living room area. Typically the DVC suites have a bedroom with a queen size bed in it, and then as like the master, it might be a king, and then has another bedroom that looks like a more traditional hotel room with 2 queens or doubles. And then there's the living room and the kitchen. There's in-unit laundry. I mean, when you are going for a trip that's like more than 3 days and you have more than 2 adults, this is the way to go. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Quincy, Disney Vacation Club rooms are expensive when you pay cash. You're exactly right. They are super expensive when you pay cash. You know when they're not that expensive? When you rent DVC points. We have awesome friends over at David's DVC Rental, which is a great option for if you want to rent DVC points, and then you get to pay basically for the points, which is cheaper than paying cash, and then the points pay for your room. Even if you're not a DVC member, that's Disney's timeshare program. So then you get these big rooms for not crazy pricing. I've certainly stayed there for less than it costs to pay at a deluxe Disney resort, in these huge, massive suites. So I love staying there with my family just because having all that extra space is what really works for us. So even though this hotel is like not that exciting, having a suite is pretty exciting.
I feel like this is going to sound harsher than I necessarily mean it to, but I often forget that Old Key West exists. I don't think that is because it's a bad hotel by any means, but it is very much off the beaten path. So if it's not a place that you are staying at, you're not really thinking too much about it. It's not like one of the monorail resorts or one of the Epcot area resorts where people kind of know it. This is very much an older Disney resort that it's easy to forget it exists. That being said, people who do stay here absolutely love it. Like, it is a big time fan favorite. If you really love Old Key West, you really, really love Old Key West. So there's something special to it.
We have to let you know that Old Key West is huge. We're talking giant, and it's not easily walkable, so you might be looking at quite the number of steps adding up just going from the lobby to your room. Rooms average between $400 to $800 a night, and if you rent Disney Vacation Club points, it's not a bad price.
The Old Key West Resort is not small. It's pretty big. There's a lot of walking that you're going to be doing. It's going to take you a fair amount of time to get between the different areas at this resort. It's not just kind of like bada bing, bada boom like some of the other resorts around Disney. Similar to the Polynesian Resort, you have to walk outside to get from the lobby to your room. Florida weather is extremely temperamental. It will shower off and on throughout the day. It's not fun when it's the end of the day and you're just trying to get back to your room to relax and you have to walk through a rainstorm. Probably your arms are laden with whatever merch you decided to buy in the parks.
I do hate walking, I agree with Hannah. The other thing about this hotel that is a total no-go, do not get a standard hotel room at Old Key West. I stayed in a standard hotel room for my Old Key West tour, which you can check out on the channel, but also that room, though sizable, it was a bigger standard hotel room than usual, was extremely dark, had a pretty poor location. I was right next to the tennis courts and I could see the golf course through the trees, and like a street where the buses were. I'm sure I could have requested a different location, but my location was bad. It's very dark in there. The decor is extremely outdated. Smallest TVs I've seen in any resort hotel on property. The TVs were like this big, and the beds were across the room from them. And I can't see without my glasses. So the TV did not work for me that well. There is the nice amenity of you do get some of those like DVC amenities, so like a toaster or like a microwave in the room, which is really nice because that's not the case in a lot of Disney hotel rooms. But wow, outdated, dark, tiny TV, and just way too expensive. I would not pay to do a regular hotel room here. Go for the suites.
Old Key West is also one of those Disney World hotels with only bus transportation to parks. Furthermore, because the resort is huge, there are countless stops just within the internal bus loop. You can, however, take a water taxi to Disney Springs.
Here's the thing, people really like this hotel. Like, they really like this hotel. It can be really great for families with young or even big kids because they have so much space just to kind of do their own thing. There are actually lots of recreational options too, things like bike rentals, fishing, tennis, basketball, volleyball, jogging. There's so much to do. People really love it, and that's part of the reason why.
Dining options include table service restaurant Olivia's Cafe, fast food at Goods Food to Go, drink and eats at Turtle Shack Poolside Snacks, and more drinks at Gurgling Suitcase Libations and Spirits.
Every time I go to Olivia's, I order the West Indian tofu and coconut curry, not because I think it's the best thing on the menu, but because it's the only plant-based option on the menu. But I bring a lot of friends who eat all different kinds of ways, and they enjoy alcohol, and they love the fact that they can order these tropical cocktails and order anything from fried chicken to really good salads to fresh soups, and it's all there. We can all eat together in perfect harmony. And we can sit outside and it feels like vacation vibes, and it's just like a perfect spot. Under the radar, underrated, top notch, really delicious, like super elevated kind of diner food and atmosphere.
Even if you aren't staying at Old Key West, one dining option that is particularly underrated is Olivia's Cafe. They have a southern brunch where you can get things like shrimp and grits, you can get buttermilk fried chicken, really great brunch food. Basically, I would say not too dissimilar from a homecoming style of menu, which is amazing.
Okay, let's get into what All Ears readers think. Reader Flora Fan said, I really like the vibe of this resort. It is a relaxing and enjoyable feel. Studio rooms are spacious and the one bedrooms are luxurious. Other readers like Anonymous noted one big downside. I love this resort, but be prepared to walk a bunch depending on where your location is in the resort.
Another thing about this resort is it tends to be on the quiet side, which is very nice because not all Disney resorts tend to be that way. And who doesn't love a quick taxi boat ride over to Disney Springs, because it is that close that you can just hop right on the taxi boat and head right over to Disney Springs.
I think because Old Key West is not on a monorail on the Skyliner, a place where a lot of other resort guests are going to be coming to. It definitely has a bit of a chiller vibe. A lot of the people there are the ones who are staying at the hotel. They're not necessarily going there for the dining options. They're not going out of their way to get to there. So you are going to have a bit of a chiller vibe. And I think that is something that's hard to come by in Disney World. And, you know, if that is what you want, that's what you're gonna find.
And on the other side of things, readers Miles the Moose said, long bus rides just to get out of the resort that fill up fast. I like to be on the first bus and be at the park soon after. This route takes 15 to 20 minutes just to leave the resort. While Danny0622 said, it very much reminded me of my grandmother's retirement community in Boca Raton. Very lifeless, pretty, serene, but dull.
Danny0622, if your grandmother's retirement community is like Old Key West, I'd really like the name of it because I'd like to move there now. Is that an option? Can I lie about my age and get some fake documents and move in today? Because let's be real, if pastel colors on the exterior of some spacious apartment living with a short walk to a golf course or a delicious restaurant or a nice pool or a hammock. I guess I just literally described every retirement community in all of Florida. Well, listen, so be it, all right? I'm ready for that life, and perhaps I'm living it a little bit right now already.
Oh my gosh, no elevators? What is this, 1790? I get that it's Old Key West. It doesn't have to be that old. You guys can add some elevators. My legs are already sore at the end of a long Disney day. I just want to hop into the elevator, listen to some smooth jazz, and then ding, I'm at my room.
Now, this definitely isn't the most exciting theming wise either, but I will say it does feel like Key West. I've been to Key West. It's got the relaxing vibes. The music that's playing is very Key West. Olivia's Cafe actually has great Key West food. And there's something I kind of like about being at like a Florida themed resort in Florida. It seems very fitting. For instance, you know, the foliage all helps the theme, because the foliage in Key West is very similar to the foliage here in Orlando. I think it's a gorgeous resort with all the pastel colors and things like that. Is it one that I go out of my way to go check out the theme? No. But do I think it's relaxing and serene? Then yes. I find it very relaxing and serene. It's just not the most exciting theme in the world.
Old Key West pros and cons. The pros, they are big rooms with a relaxed vibe at an affordable price for a deluxe resort. The cons, it's got a long bus loop because it's huge and not very walkable. Plus, you're far from other Disney parks. Still not sure? Let's get some final thoughts.
In exchange for having not the most beautiful rooms in Disney World, you get some of the largest rooms in Disney World, and you get an incredible restaurant, and you get a great bar, and you get hammocks and chill vacation vibes, and I love it. It's one of my very favorite resorts on property, and Olivia's is one of my favorite restaurants on property. I really recommend next time you're here that you come check out the environment for yourself, eat at Olivia's, and see about maybe booking your next vacation at Old Key West Resort. It might be the perfect resort for you and your family.
Old Key West is cool. I like Old Key West. I enjoy that it's an option. I think it's great if you are able to rent DVC points, or if you are DVC, to have your whole family in one room, but everyone still kind of gets their own space in a nice way. I think that it's a very peaceful resort. I think it's pretty centrally located. It's in the Disney Springs and Epcot kind of area. So it's not too far from a lot of Disney World. It's kind of smack dab in the middle. So Old Key West gets a check from me, although please, if you've never learned anything from me, do not pay cash for one of the standard hotel rooms here. Please, you will be sad.
Personally, I do really like the resorts that have kind of a light Disney theme. Something like the Grand Floridian, where you feel like you're at a resort or a nice hotel, but then it has those little Disney touches. That's something I really enjoy, as opposed to a very overt Disney theme like the Pop Century. Old Key West definitely fits that vibe, where It is a nice standalone hotel with a little touch of Disney.
You know, I came into this saying that Old Key West is kind of forgettable. After talking about it for a little bit and hearing what everyone else had to say, I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should be staying at Old Key West. I mean, I love the Florida Keys. I love that style of food. I like the idea of a chiller vibe. Would I not love the long bus rides? Perhaps not, but I don't know. This sounds like a great place for a staycation. I might have been convinced to go stay at Old Key West.
I wonder if they serve key lime pie at Old Key West. They really should. But I don't think calling it Old Key Lime Pie, just that, you can't put old in front of it. It would sound, no one would eat it.
Overall, I think I really like Old Key West Resort. It's not one that I really frequent a lot. It's not one that I hang out at as somebody who just lives here now and doesn't really travel as much. But I've stayed here with friends and I've had friends who really loved it. And there are huge rooms and it's very relaxed and it's pretty affordable for a deluxe resort. It's at Disney, so anytime I get to be at Disney World, I'm not knocking it. I'm happy to be there, especially with big rooms and very relaxed vibes.
Old Key West Resort. If you like a calm vibe and less of a heavy Disney theme at a fairly reasonable price, this would be a great fit. But if you prefer to avoid a long bus loop and want more transportation options, you're better off looking elsewhere. Of course, keep in mind that what's good for one person might not be good for you, but that's why we research and review to help you make the best decision for you. Want more opinions? Do a search on AllEars.net for Old Key West, and you may be a little blown away by the info you find. For the rest of you, how would you vote? Let us know down in the comments. This is Chris for AllEars.net. See you next time.